You, yes you, watching this video right now. Have you read Hunted by Megan Spooner yet? If the answer is no, this is not the video for you, because there are going to be a lot of spoilers, because I have a lot of feelings and I have to discuss them here. Once you do read it, come back, because I would love to hear your thoughts. Thanks. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Hi guys, Colt here with my very first book discussion. It is going to be for Hunted by Megan Spooner. Can you see it? It's a library copy, so it's got that dreaded plastic. I picked this up. 1, the cover is beautiful. 2, it was a Beauty and the Beast retelling. I was very interested in that. 3, my friends raved about it, had such wonderful reviews. I was excited, especially when I found out that Yiva, aka Beauty, the main character, was a hunter. She was not the stereotypical girl for the time period, so I had really high expectations. And maybe I should have just walked into this blind and I wouldn't have been as disappointed as it was. First of all, the story was incredibly slow. I mean, I think we were like 5, 6 chapters in before we even got to the Beauty and the Beast meeting. Yiva, I liked her at first. I really did, because she had pluck, she was sassy, she was walking that fine line between what a lady was supposed to be and who she was. So that going on was awesome. And we got to meet her 2 sisters. We got to see the different contrasts between them. Her father was once this wonderful hunter. He was like the best in the world. And then he left that to become a merchant for her mother. So we're seeing them living that life and sort of getting away from the wildness inside them, so to speak. But her whole thing through this was she had this wildness that just couldn't be tamped down, and she couldn't be tamed. Somehow I felt like that wildness transferred to stupidity. Why? Because I didn't understand some of the choices she made. In this we have Solmir, I might be murdering that name, but it looks like Solmir to me, who was sort of the Gaston, but a nice guy. I liked him. And he was interested in marrying her because he wanted to hunt with her. He wasn't trying to trim her wings. So he was sort of as good as she was going to get in this time period for a husband. But she didn't love him. So I was behind her not wanting to marry him. But then her father is ruined. He put all his eggs in one basket and ends up broke. So then of course Salmir presents, your family's going to need protection. They're going to need to be taken care of. And if you marry me, I'll do that. Which soured me because I sort of hate that trope, you know. It's okay, but first my dad hasn't come home. We have to look for him. We have to find him. And he says, well, let me go with you. No, I can travel faster alone. So me, a lone female, is going to go into a forest after my father, who something has already happened to, and it's snowing heavily, so I have to try to keep his trail. Does that sound like something you should do by yourself? I felt like I was watching a horror movie where somebody was what you call too stupid to live. You're like, if you go down there in that dark basement by yourself where you heard them noises, you ain't coming back. That is how I felt about Yivi. So then Yiva's, everything I loved about her became like this cliche, like it was an excuse. She was so wild and she knew that she can do it and she was independent. Look, I'm independent too, but I'm not going to do a search party by myself in a wooded area I'm unfamiliar with in heavy snow. No, right? And it just felt like it continued. So then she sees him and sees, holy crap, my dad is dead. Am I going to retreat? No, I'm going to track this down. Because clearly it killed him, but somehow I am the superior hunter. I learned everything I know about him and I haven't hunted in quite some time. But no, I got this. You know what she got? Kidnapped by the beast. That's what she got. And then you know what she got? Chained up. Literally chained up. This was not a Disney storytelling. It was dark. He had her chained up. And this was after he had busted her up. Busted her up? Yeah, busted her up. Because when things are broken and you have concussion and you're begging for medicine, you got busted up. But she has a friend who magically helps her and talks to her. Okay, if I've been captured and the only person I hear is you and you're free, you're probably that person. But no. This is her special friend who she just knows is in the same situation as her. And this friend tells her she can't ask any questions, but he brings her food and he brings her medicine sometimes. But then he goes off on tangents and says, you know nothing, grrr, which didn't tip her off that like dude was whack. I don't know. I really felt like this was straight up Stockholm Syndrome. Wait, it gets better. So this is what's going on. This is their back and forth. So they develop this relationship because she tells him fairy tales. And this I loved. This is where Russian lore steps in. I love Russian lore, what I know of it, and this was me learning more. I really love that Megan Spooner incorporated that. I thought it was fascinating. I really, really enjoyed it. And she would tell the Beast, aka the special friend, all these stories, and he was intrigued by it. And there was one in particular he was intrigued most by, and it was a story of Ivan. So he tells her, you can call me Ivan, and it was sort of a red herring. It comes back up later, and I love that she did that. I really like when they give you everything you need right in front of you, but you're not able to put it together yet. I think that that's the best way to tell a story. So he takes her to a nicer area that's not a dungeon and makes her promise that she won't look at him. Well, this is Yiva, who's just too wild to be tamed. So guess what? Of course she breaks it, and then she wants to take her scarf off. And what do you think she sees? Not what she thought she was going to see, because he's a beast. And then she realizes, you are the one that kills my father, which to me puts a damper on any kind of romantic involvement we're ever going to have, because you killed my dad. And then you tell me you're going to stay, because if you don't stay, I'll kill you. And I say, well, I don't care. Oh, well, I'm going to go kill your family. Remember how you told me all those wonderful stories about all of them? Well, now I know where you live and what they look like. What? I mean, I felt like at that point, there was no redemption. He tells her he needs her for a task. She has to hunt something. He can't tell her what it is. Because she loves fairy tales, she realizes he is cursed and he cannot tell me what it is. So I have to try to figure it out. He teaches her how to see magic. So I would say like a magic world within a world. So she starts to see what he sees. She starts to see the enchantment and interact. I love that. I thought that was cool. I really like the details that Megan Spooner put into that. Eventually, she gets to the point where she tries to kill the beast, realizes he can't be killed. He says, don't you think I would have just done that? I've been here much longer than you. I am also a prisoner. For her, it seems like that was sort of a turning point. It's when he admits that I didn't kill your father. She has no reason to stay. She was only staying for revenge, which I felt like was a very weak excuse. I don't know. It just mind boggled me. I just wasn't into it. She goes back to her family. She should be happy. No, she misses the beast. No, you don't. You don't miss the beast because there was nothing to miss. There was no connection there. There was moments where he was human-like. Literally, this is like her point of view where she would say, I see a shimmer and he sort of seems more like a man than a monster. That is not a basis for anything. Like no friendship, definitely not a romantic relationship. Frustrated. This frustrated me. And what frustrated me even more was she told her friend, hey, I miss this guy who was my captor. The friend sits her down, tells the story about her cousin. My cousin had this husband. She thought he was going to be great. He beat her all the time. And when they tried to take her away, she swore up and down he was a good man. She wouldn't tell on him. This is what you're feeling. Okay, she's basically telling you back in the 17th century or wherever this was set that, hey, you have Stockholm Syndrome. You don't love him. You just have Stockholm Syndrome. Literally, this is basically what she told her. What do you think she does? Of course she goes back. Of course she goes back. And this is when we see that the stories she tells are tying in, because there was this mysterious firebird in legend, one that her father told her, two that is in the very favorite story that she told the beast. And she realizes through the magical creatures that talk to her, I have to find the firebird to free him from the curse. And all of a sudden she has to free him from the curse. I don't know why, because what was there between them other than being, captor and captive? Nothing, because they never formed any sort of bond. She literally tried to kill him and then she left, frustrated. So she goes back and she's on this mission. She eventually finds a firebird, and it's all confusing because it doesn't tie in. There's never an explanation as to why it mattered so much. It was very convoluted. I can't even explain it to you if you haven't read it. It was more like, you are the firebird. Why am I the firebird? Am I a reincarnation? What the hell is happening? I was so confused in this. I felt like she was too smart to make such stupid decisions. There was nothing that bridged the animosity between them for me to believe that there was a romance. And then at the end, she had the nerve to say, maybe they'll do this and maybe they won't, or maybe they'll do that and maybe they won't. Wait, I read almost 400 pages and you're not even going to tell me what is going to happen now? The action has finally happened because this was slower than slow. I was upset. I just was disappointed. I was disappointed. I felt confused because I didn't feel like all the pieces tied in together. I felt like it was just like, I don't know where to go with this and I'm tired of writing it at the end. I don't understand what I missed that other people didn't. They really loved this retelling. I did not. I'm done with my rant. If you agree or disagree, I would love to hear your comments below. Let me know why you loved it and why you think I'm wrong. If you know the Russian folklore, was there something that is known to people who have grown up with it and I missed it? I would really like to know because it just didn't make sense in the end. It felt like a cop-out, which I hate. That was my book discussion on Hunted. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you next time, guys. Bye.